From heartbreak to hope, these Korean dramas will actually make you cry. I'm talking about those gut-punching, soul-crushing, why did I even start this kind of shows. So grab your tissues and let's get into it. Starting with one that I'm pretty sure you've either already heard about or have been sleeping on for way too long. 2521. Oh my God, this show. I'm telling you right now, if you're even remotely into nostalgia, heartbreak, and that absolute gut punch of missed opportunities, this is your next emotional meltdown waiting to happen. You need to watch this. And I mean, watch it with snacks and tissues because this one's going to turn your heart into mush. So let's break this down. The story follows Na Hee-do, a high school fencing prodigy who's determined to keep her dreams alive even when the world is basically telling her to give up. And then there's Baek Yi-jin, a guy who had everything until the 1997 financial crisis came in and ripped his life to shreds. We're talking full one day you're rich, next day you're living in a shoebox vibes, and it's brutal. Their worlds couldn't be more different, but they end up colliding in this bittersweet, fated sort of way that's equal parts beautiful and heartbreaking. Their paths cross at a time when everything in their lives is completely upside down. And let me tell you, it's the perfect backdrop for heartbreak. The entire setting of that late 90s Korea, with its baggy sweatshirts, old-school phones, and that sense of a world on the edge, it just makes the whole thing feel so real, like you're actually there with them. It's the kind of environment that makes even the smallest moment feel 10 times more intense. But let's talk about that chemistry for a second. The chemistry between these two leads is so good it's almost illegal. Like it should be a crime to be this cute and tragic at the same time. You know how some dramas force the whole love thing? Not here. Every stolen glance, every awkward pause, every shared dream, it's just so organic that you forget you're watching a show. It feels like real life in the best and worst way possible. The drama doesn't even rely on melodrama or super dramatic deaths to make you cry. Nope. It's the slow burn of watching two people try to figure out life, love, and their futures while everything around them is crumbling to pieces. And that's what makes it hurt so much more. It's the small moments, the little jokes, the quick smiles, the desperate need to hold on to each other for just a second longer. That's the stuff that gets under your skin and just sits there, making you cry days after you're done watching. Now, let's talk about a show that honestly had me sitting in my bed at 3 a.m. with tears in my eyes and a half-eaten tub of ice cream. This one is My Mister. And I swear, if you haven't watched this yet, you're really missing out on one of the most beautifully depressing shows I've ever seen. My Mister is one of those dramas that just seeps into your soul. It follows Park Dong-hoon, played by Lee Sun-kyun, who's this middle-aged guy dealing with the absolute mess of his life. He's got a cheating wife, a job that's slowly killing him, and he's just done. You know what I mean? And then there's Lee Ji-an, played by IU. And let me tell you, this might be her best role ever. She's young, broke, and stuck in a world that's completely crushing her spirit. Their paths cross when she starts working at his company and discovers he's the only decent human being she's ever met. It's not your typical romance, though. There's no over-the-top I love you moments or cheesy music cues. It's this quiet, unspoken connection between two people who are both just tired. And it's beautiful in the most soul-crushing way. One of the things that really stuck with me about My Mister is how real it all feels. The show doesn't try to sugarcoat the pain. It just shows you these two people trying to survive in a world that's basically chewing them up and spitting them out. It's not loud or flashy. It's the small moments, the looks they share, the times they sit in silence because words just aren't enough. And those small moments, they're what absolutely wrecked me. There's this one scene that I keep thinking about. Dong-hoon sitting alone in his office, surrounded by the weight of his entire life, while Ji-on listens from the other side of the wall. It's such a simple scene, but the way it's shot and the music that creeps in just hits you like a freight train. It's one of those scenes where you don't even realize you're crying until you're wiping your face with your sleeve. And I know some people might say this show is slow. But honestly, that's what makes it so damn good. It takes its time, lets you really sit with the characters, and by the end, you feel like you've lived through every moment with them. So yeah, if you want a drama that's going to make you ugly cry and then sit there in silence wondering why you're so invested in fictional people, My Mister is it. All right, let's move on to the next one before I start tearing up again. Let's keep it going. Okay, brace yourselves, because this next one is a certified tearjerker, and I'm not even going to apologize for how many times I rewatched it. We're talking about Move to Heaven. Yeah, that one. If you've seen it, you already know you're about to get hit in the gut all over again. Move to Heaven is one of those shows that hits different. It's about Guru, a young guy with Asperger's, and his ex-con uncle Sanggu. They run a trauma cleaning service. Basically, they go into the homes of people who've passed away and clean up the remnants of their lives. Yeah, it's as heavy as it sounds, and I swear to you, this show had me sniffling from the very first episode. What makes this show so devastating is that it's not just about death. It's about the lives these people left behind and the stories they never got to finish. Every episode focuses on a different person who's passed away. And let me tell you, each one is like a mini emotional nuke. It's like the show's out here actively trying to make you question why you're so emotionally attached to strangers you've never met. But here's the thing that really got me: the relationship between Guru and his uncle. On paper, it's this weird, almost forced partnership. But as the episodes go on, you watch them learn how to trust each other, how to heal in their own messed up ways. And that healing journey? Man, it's beautiful and tragic all at the same time. Sanggu's gruff, tough guy exterior starts to crack, and Guru's quiet strength becomes this steady anchor for them both. It's the kind of dynamic that just seeps into your chest and stays there. There's this one scene in particular. I'm not going to spoil it fully because you really need to watch it yourself, but it involves an old man's final letter. I swear to you, I had to pause the show and just sit there like a zombie for 5 minutes, thinking about life and death and everything in between. It's one of those moments that sneaks up on you and then just wrecks you. So, yeah, Move to Heaven is not just a sad show. It's one of those deeply cathartic watches that reminds you that even in the middle of grief, there's still beauty and there's still connection. Just do yourself a favor and keep the tissues handy. Let's move on before I start crying in the middle of editing this video. All right, so if those last ones didn't make you question your entire life, this next drama is going to slap you right in the soul. We're talking about Hi Bye Mama. Yeah, the one that's basically a masterclass in making you cry even when you thought you were all out of tears. Hi Bye Mama follows the story of Cha Yu-ri, played by Kim Tae-hee, who dies in a tragic accident but gets a second chance at life for 49 days. And if you think that setup sounds like a straight-up recipe for heartbreak, you'd be absolutely correct. This show isn't about cheap thrills or jump scares. It's about what it means to truly let go of the people you love most, and it's going to mess you up in the best way possible. One of the things that kills me about this show is how it balances lighthearted humor with gut-wrenching sadness. Like, you'll be laughing at Yuri's ghostly shenanigans 1 minute and then bawling like a baby the next. The show doesn't pull any punches when it comes to showing just how much she misses her family, especially her little daughter who's had to grow up without her. And don't even get me started on her husband, who's trying to move on but can't help feeling like a piece of him is still missing. The real heartbreak of this show isn't just that she's back for a limited time, it's that she knows she can't stay. Every moment she has with her family is this bittersweet little gift that's slipping through her fingers faster than she can hold on to it. There's this constant push and pull between wanting to stay and knowing she can't, and it just hits different. One scene that absolutely destroyed me is when Yuri watches her daughter from a distance, just taking in every little thing about her. The way she laughs, the way she sleeps, the way she holds her dad's hand. It's this simple, quiet moment that says everything about love and loss and the things we don't get to keep. If you've ever lost someone or even just imagined what it'd be like to say goodbye properly, this show is going to cut you deep. So yeah, Hi Bye Mama is an absolute tearjerker that's going to leave you a sobbing mess on your couch. Just a heads up, don't watch this one at work or you're going to have some serious explaining to do when your coworkers see you crying in the break room. All right, let's keep it going. We're talking about Uncontrollably Fond. Yeah, the name might sound like a cheesy rom-com, but trust me, this show is out here to absolutely ruin your night in the best possible way. Uncontrollably Fond is the story of Shin Jun-young, played by Kim Woo-bin, who's a top actor and singer with a secret. He's dying. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. He's got this terminal illness and he knows his time is limited. And then there's No Yul, played by Bae Suzy, a documentary producer who was his childhood love, and let me tell you, the chemistry between these two is the kind of slow burn that'll melt your face off. The show kicks off when these two former lovers cross paths again, years after a tragic breakup, and the second chance they get is just, man, it's heartbreaking, because the whole time, you know exactly where it's going. It's like watching a beautiful train wreck in slow motion. You can't look away, but it hurts like hell. One of the reasons this show hits so damn hard is how it shows the raw, messy parts of love. There's no perfect fairy tale here, just two people trying to make the most of the time they have left. Jun-young, who starts out as this arrogant, seemingly untouchable star, becomes this vulnerable, desperate guy who just wants to spend his last days with the person he loves. And No Wool, who's been through more pain than anyone should ever have to go through, is forced to face her own feelings and decide if she's willing to risk her heart all over again. There's a scene in this show, and if you've seen it, you already know, where Jun-young is recording this little video for No Wool. And the way he's smiling while he's talking about how he wants her to remember him, dude, it's like he's trying to stay strong for her, but you can see every crack in that smile. It's the kind of scene that just sticks in your chest and doesn't let go. So yeah, Uncontrollably Fond is that drama that's going to leave you ugly crying at 2 a.m., wondering why you even started it in the first place. But honestly, you won't regret it. If you're looking for something that's going to absolutely break your heart and then put it back together in the most bittersweet way, this is it. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos like this one.